Hello, everybody, and welcome back to City Skylines Let's Play Beginner Series. We're going to start off this episode by purchasing some tiles and expanding out of that first initial town. We're going to want to grab this tile up here just because it's more of like, well, it's got the train on it, and that's going to help us, especially with our industry, shipping things in and out of our city. And I think that'll do pretty nicely. Going ahead and taking a look at our demands, everything's pretty even across the board, so we can hop on over here to this little suburban area until we can level up and get our high density zones. So we're just going to kind of pepper in all of these little homes, anything that's got a nice amount of tiles to get zoned, we'll just fill those in. And hopefully this is going to push us to, I think it's 5,500 is the amount that we need to get to the next level. So we'll speed things up, watch them move in. We do have some demand for not enough educated workers, and that's just because we don't have a university in our town yet. So taking a look at our paths, we do want to make sure that it's easy to walk places. So we'll hook that one, okay. And then paths do that, and you're like, why? So we do want to have an easy way for them to cross over. I know this T-junction at the end is our main road in and out of this area, but we want to make sure to keep the traffic at an all-time, or keep it pretty minimum. Um, right now we do have mostly residential on these roads, however there is a little bit of commercial over to the right-hand side by the high school. And let's see, they're going to have to travel a really long way to get to work over here in the industry area, unless of course they work commercially. So let's build a little road. We are going, oh, and just as I was talking about it, big town, we finally have it. Awesome. And this is going to give us that high density um, residential, commercial, and office zones, as well as some metro stations. We finally unlocked the university and the incineration plant. So I hate landfills. You always have to make sure to empty them properly. And they're just a pain to deal with, honestly. Let's go ahead and build this road over here. This will be a good spot to kind of bridge those two areas and maybe tuck a little train station over there. Then again, we do want our train station kind of far away from the main traffic source and preferably a way to get onto the highway directly. So let's reconsider that. And now that we have the residential in and we're going to be building some high density residential, let's take a look at our natural resources. We have a bunch of oil over there and then a little bit of ore in that tile that we just bought. But since we already have it unlocked, we might as well just go ahead and buy that another tile. And then we could use maybe the tip of this little island for a nice little university square. I don't have any of the DLCs. This is a vanilla base game kind of playthrough series, but we could still make a cute little exclusive area up here at the tip of this island. Have it be maybe like a little bit leisurely, have it be maybe like a tourist destination. I don't know. You guys let me know what you think. Go ahead and leave that down in the comments below. Should we turn it into a bougie area? Should we turn it into like a place where we have all of our landmarks and our stadiums, or should we build that back over towards the high density we're going to build on our initial kind of peninsula? So I'm going to just use this pre-built T highway for our entrance into this area. And then I'm going to start by mapping out with the natural resources overlay, just kind of a nice area to get our new industry sorted. So we're going to do what I did last time, which is building kind of a grid, but then only taking it every other one as connecting them up, so that way there's no four-way junctions and they're all three-way junctions. This is going to do or help your game, especially if you don't have traffic mod traffic mods installed. That's going to help your traffic flow a little bit better. And then instead of building our own separate power and water line and all that kind of stuff, we'll just do a giant pipe across the length of the bay and just hook everything up like that. And then as for electricity, we're going to do the same thing and just bring that power grid over here. And then maybe there we go. Okay. And then bring it over here. And then we also need to look at changing the way that we're producing electricity. Right now we're doing coal, but now that we're going to have oil unlocked, we can do the oil power plants. And let's just fill all of this in as industry, and we'll start getting people to come in here. But before we do that, we need to finish off our highway. So let's get a roundabout. Roundabouts are a great way to have entrances and exits off of intersections, especially if they're going to be pretty busy. So I just extended the highway out a little bit more, and then we're going to try to tuck this roundabout underneath. It's kind of finicky. You have to line it up just perfectly like that. Amazing. And then we can build our on and off ramps from the highway. And if we get the right, there we go, curve it around, perfect. And we'll just tuck it right in there if it'll snap where I want it to go. That location, or sure, we'll do that. And we'll just not pay attention to that incline on that off ramp. It's fine. That's totally safe, right? I mean, with all these giant trucks driving in and out of here. That curve is better, so, you know, at least going on, it'll be a little bit better than going off, which you probably would ram into the car in front of you. And then we're just going to hook this roundabout straight up to this road with a straight road. There we go. It does have another T-junction right next to it, but we'll deal with that if it has any problems. So just like I was saying before, we are experiencing a little bit of power problems, some electricity problems. Instead of building a whole new generator, which we can't afford right now, we'll just put a wind turbine in and let all of this kind of build up. So this is the oil generator. Let's find a good place to tuck it. Maybe, yeah, we'll put it right here by the train tracks. And that took all of our money, and we can bump our budget back down to a reasonable amount. There we go. Close enough to 100, maybe. Okay, 98, sure. And then they are going to be demanding more workers. But let's get the workers that we do have over there with some bus transportation. Maybe a metro station. We did just spend all of our money on that coal power plant, but maybe we could get some good bus lines to come in here. Let's see. Our demand for residents is pretty high right now, so let's go ahead and add some residential squares. Our plan for this area was to create a kind of a sloping line down to the coast. So everything in the front is going to be low density residential and commercial, and then the further back you go, you get more taller buildings, so apartments, and then high density commercial. And we might tuck in some office zones back there, once we get the university all set up and they can actually utilize them. So let's plop a park in there, make sure they're all settled before they start filling in. Probably just 2 of these parks should be fine, hopefully. It just sucks because there's that space in the middle there. It's like wasted space. I'm sure it's fine. Normally you wouldn't have an apartment block just full of apartments like that. It seems pretty dangerous. But yeah, let's go ahead and delete that and see if we can fit a better one in. There we go. Just like that. Maybe if I could center it. I mean, we still have that exact same space in the very back, so I think we'll just do 2 tiny little parks. That way each side has their own little private area. Make sure that there's water hooked up on this grid before we let people move in. And we'll just trace that along the roads and the pathways to get there. Perfect. And then just hook it up like that. And stop getting you notifications about new buildings. I know about it. There we go. And then we just put in our high density residential zones. And those should fill up pretty quickly because we have such a high demand for residential. And then let's just connect these up with a walkway because there is a high school and an elementary school over here. And that way they can also get access to these little shops and everything like that without having to drive all the way around because that road is a little bit winding. Oh, there, perfect. And we'll just hook it up right to that crosswalk. That makes amazing sense. And let's do some office zones. No, high density commercial. There we go. And we'll just pop that along there. That way it gives more access to commercial areas on both sides. And that high density commercial should take care of our need for commercial for a little bit. And then we're also just going to create another high density residential over here since the demand for it is so high. So this one we aren't, I mean, we could do the grid, but I want to make sure it's, yeah, all the way full and looks nice and neat. So we aren't going to be putting the parks in there just because they are going to be living right next to several parks. Already, lots of houses are upgrading. They're very excited about that. Um, but we are getting notifications about the garbage. So we did unlock the incinerators, which is good. So let's pop pretty much everywhere where there's a landfill. Let's just drop in a little incineration plant. And are these emptying finished? Let's turn it off. No, let's destroy it. Stop emptying? No. Just that? Yep. Okay, there we go. Perfect. And then let's make sure that we hook the power. Yeah. All of our citizens are like, what are you doing? Why? No. So we'll just go ahead and make sure that's hooked up. So the incineration plants do need water, however, the landfills do not, which seems kind of suspicious. I feel like, the garbage might catch on fire without water being there, but what do I know? Maybe it just stinks so bad they don't have anybody actually working at the landfills. And then we will need to add another incineration plant later once we have a little bit more money saved up. So all of our residential filled in, and we still have a pretty high demand for it. We do have our metros that we can start putting in. They are a little bit expensive. And is this area? Yeah, this area is still demanding more workers, but we'll just create a little tiny bus line that's going to connect to the. Well, we'll connect it to the residential areas. Let's find a nice little corner that it's not going to hopefully block up too much traffic. I'm sure if Biffa was playing this town, he would be having a heyday with our with our grid system over there, but it's fine. And we'll just connect it like that, and that way everybody in the residential has at least one bus stop that connects to another bus stop that loops around the whole residential area to get to the oil fields to get jobs. So we'll go ahead and name this Oil to Residential. And I think this area would be better served with a metro just to go from point A to point B. Let's drop down the amount of buses on there because it is a long line, but I don't think it's going to be too busy. So it did not accept the name change that I put in there, Oil to Residential. Enter. Okay, it stuck that time. Let's change the color to this nice minty kind of green. Green-blue. Perfect. And now we wait for the money to come in. Make sure that our garbage is doing well. Our bus depot is sending things out. Our metro, do we want to do an elevated metro station or do we want to do one underground? I always do one underground. I haven't tried these elevated ones yet. But I think it just looks a lot neater when everything's underground and you can't really see it. You just see people piling in and out of these little holes. Oh, and that's actually what we could use our road that we built down here that connects to nothing. We can put a little metro station right there. It says we're has divided into multiple separate power grids. No, they're all connected. We do have an oil generator that's at a different location than the coal generators, but they're all connected with wires, so I don't think that's a weird notification. And then right here by the walking path and along this kind of by the school and all the commercial over here, we can pop the other metro station. And then we'll tuck one in here. We could put one just right here by the apartments, but they are going to complain about the noise. Alternatively, we can put it over here where we already have other commercial. I hope this area doesn't get too busy. We'll definitely have to keep an eye on it to make sure that it doesn't. And where is the tool for making the lines? Metro line tool. Metro line tool. What the heck? Oh, the tracks. Duh. Okay, let's go down and hook up these rail lines. Oh, well, everything is too far away and we have no money. Oh, I also didn't put a metro over here. That would definitely help if we actually had a metro station over here as well. Perfect. And then we'll connect that to maybe this closer one. Still not enough money. What the heck? Alright, guys. Well, I think we're going to leave it here. We got a lot accomplished. We have a new industry area. We got our new incineration plants and all that good stuff. If you enjoyed this video, be sure to let me know by leaving a comment down below, sharing this with your friends so that way they can see it as well. And until I see you guys again, I hope you have a beautiful, wonderful rest of your day. Bye-bye now.